From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Monday, January the 22nd, 2018. U.S. Vice President Mike Pence arrived in Israel yesterday evening, landing at Ben Gurion Airport, where he was greeted by Israel's tourism minister, Yariv Levin, as well as Israel's ambassador to the U.S., Ron Dermer, and U.S. ambassador to Israel, David Friedman. This morning, Pence met with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu at his residence in Jerusalem and then addressed Israel's Knesset, where he spoke on a number of issues, including the Iran deal, prospects for peace with the Palestinians, and Pence gave a time frame for the relocation of the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem.
In the weeks ahead, our administration will advance its plan to open the United States Embassy in Jerusalem. And that United States Embassy will open before the end of next year.
Pence called the embassy move and the U.S. recognition of Jerusalem as Israel's capital as being, quote, in the best interest of peace.
By finally recognizing Jerusalem as Israel's capital, the United States has chosen fact over fiction. And fact is the only true foundation for a just and lasting peace.
Regarding efforts to restart peace talks, Pence reaffirmed the position of the United States.
The United States of America remains fully committed to achieve a lasting peace between Israelis and Palestinians. That if both sides agree, the United States of America will support a two-state solution. And today, we strongly urge the Palestinian leadership to return to the table. Peace can only come through dialogue.
At the start of Pence's address, there was some disruption in the Knesset. A number of Arab-Israeli Knesset members held signs of protest over the Jerusalem recognition. They were quickly escorted out of the session. Speaking just before Pence today, Netanyahu noted that he was the first American vice president to address the Knesset, and Netanyahu expressed his deep appreciation for the vice president's support for the State of Israel and for the Jerusalem recognition by the U.S. administration, which he said will never be forgotten. Tomorrow, Pence will meet with Israeli President Reuven Rivlin, tour Israel's memorial to the Holocaust, Yad Vashem, and visit the Western Wall before flying back to Washington. Meanwhile, Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas met today with leaders of the European Union in Brussels, where he urged member states to, quote, swiftly recognize the state of Palestine, arguing that such recognition does not contradict the resumption of peace talks. While not responding directly to Abbas's call for recognition, EU High Representative Federica Mogherini reaffirmed that the EU was committed to a two-state solution with Jerusalem as a shared capital. She also stressed the need for direct talks between Israel and the Palestinians, saying that the EU is working to support an international framework to accompany direct negotiations, telling reporters later that such a framework would include the Middle East Quartet, of which the U.S. is a member, as is Russia and the United Nations, and Mogherini said the group could be expanded to include a few Arab countries and possibly Norway. Well, Italy bestowed one of its highest honors on an Auschwitz survivor. Italian President Sergio Mattarella named 87-year-old Liliana Segre a senator for life on Friday. She is one of the few Italian Jews who survived the death camp. Segre has spent much of her life sharing her experiences to educate school children about the Holocaust. And Mattarella's office said he chose her for the honor because she had made the nation proud with her commitment to do so. Segre was also one of the founders of the Holocaust Memorial at the train station in Milan, where she and her family were among the many Jews deported to Auschwitz. And with the approach of Holocaust Remembrance Day, the World Jewish Congress's We Remember initiative continues to gain momentum. As we reported to you, the campaign began on January the 8th to combat anti-Semitism and all forms of hatred, genocide, and xenophobia. It has already reached over 150 million people, with individuals and groups posting #WeRemember on social media in 50 countries and in 24 languages. Some participants of note include the Chelsea Football Club, leading Muslim clergy from around the world, including the chief imam of India, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, and President of Croatia, Kolinda Grabar-Kitarovic. The campaign continues until Holocaust Remembrance Day on January the 27th. And taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Monday, January the 22nd. At 7, it's The Wisdom of Dr. Ruth. At 8, Rabbi Lord Jonathan Sachs and NYU professor Jonathan Haidt talk about moral dilemmas in the age of social media from the Bronfman Center for Jewish Life at NYU. At 9, Mark Golub sits down with Gary Kenzer of Honest Reporting on L'Chaim. And at 10, Alan Dershowitz and Dennis Ross talk about how the U.S. relationship with Israel has evolved with Bloomberg's Ethan Bronner. And coming up right after this newscast tonight at 6:30, Dershowitz answers questions one-on-one. And that's the JBS News Update for Monday, January the 22nd, 2018. I'm Teisha Bader.